Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So we're going to do a bit of a Soccerversing today, and we're going to look at player agents. So we can see how the player agent side of the game works. So I've been researching some players. So every so often, or every day, you get all these rumours about who's going to be buying who and all this sort of stuff. So it's useful to see when you have these very young players. So this guy here, I've no idea who he is really, never heard of him before. But we can see he's a Dutch footballer who plays currently for Aston Villa. He hasn't played very much this season for Aston Villa. And looks like some other people might come in and want to buy him. So when I see like a young player like that, you want to go and check him out in Soccerverse, obviously. So we go check him out here. And here he is. This is actually his full name here. So we can see here he's rated 71. So that's not all that high. And more importantly, we can see his price in Soccerverse coins. So the influence, one influence is 0.04. So I have, I think I've shown this Soccerverse before. Hit list. So this is a whole bunch of players, and I put the players in here, and you sort of see what their ratings are. You see what the cost of buying one influence is, and that is going to change every 6 months. And then you work out a rating per cost. So this guy here is currently the sort of most efficient in the sense he's rated 62. He costs 0.0143. So that's his sort of the efficiency. Obviously, he may not be. He's a very young player. This guy, he's just been he's bought by Spurs. When he turns 18, I think he'll go to Spurs. But if he turns out well, he could do really well. He could become like an 82 rated player, but it's mainly the rating and the cost. So you want the two things together. So there's this guy here, Lamar Bogard. So here we have him in here, and he's actually when I do the very basic math. He ranks pretty well. So there's a few other ones that I've been looking at here, but. He ranks one of the more efficient ones. Obviously, some of these players might not be very good, and then just might not work out. This guy here, Calvin Phillips, he's 29 now. He's pretty old. He went to Man City from Leeds and has been a total disaster, and he's not played for a couple of seasons. So he's he's old and maybe efficient. So maybe worth looking at him. But most of the ones here are pretty young. So Lamar seems to sort of fit what I'm sort of looking to find in these players. And always worth checking, this is the right one. So he's from the Netherlands, and this guy here is a Dutch footballer, right? So we've got the right one. Sometimes these players have very similar names. So we can look here and see who already has influence in him in the game, and no one does. No open orders, so that's pretty nice. Particularly if you want to be someone's agent. So to be someone's agent, you have to have 50,000 50,000 influence in them. So in order to do this, I would need to buy. So the price is going to be this is the sort of price because we're buying at the price that the game sets for these players. So these players are all sort of their cost in the game is already sort of worked out, and I want 50,000. So I want 50,000 of influence in this player, and that's the minimum I need to be start the voting for to be an agent. And that's going to cost me 2,140, and I've got 2,650. So I made sure that was going to work out. And if you were very smart, you noticed here I've got a cost. Actually, I've put in the cost of 50,001, but actually it's this is the cost to be an agent for any of these players. So we can see here. I'm also working out the cost of what an agent, how much it will be for me to be an agent. And the agent thing is sort of interesting in the sense that. You have a certain sort of level of sort of power over that player in terms of dealing with his manager and contracts and wages. I've not got into that at all. But if you are the agent of a player, then it's a sort of another way in which you can play Soccerverse, which is being the agent of a player, and you can do that in a nice way. You can do that in a sort of nasty, manipulative way. Up to you, really. You can see here, actually, I'm the agent of a couple of players already, so 2 already. But as people get more into the game, it's sort of interesting. You see where it says no means someone's already an agent. So sometimes you want to be looking at sort of players and you want to be their agent. And you don't want to necessarily tell other players that you're looking at these players. So some of these So now I'm showing everyone, so this is just no good. But some of these, if you really want to sort of become agent, you're sort of competing with other players in the game who also might want to become agents of some of these players. Although the players I'm going for are a bit more obscure, really, because I've not got that many SOCCERVERSE coins. Okay, so we can see here, that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to do the transaction here. So transaction is confirmed, so I've placed a buy order for him. So let's see if this is, let's refresh the interface. So there we can see, yeah, that's me. I've got 50,000, and that's the price. The price is still the same, so this is going to, be fixed until the whole game is sort of reset. So now we could go to the player actions. I could got influence, so I could trade it, transfer bid. Well, I can't do that. New contract, vote for agent. So now I can vote for agent. So I can propose an agent. So username, this will be me, games. TX, so I'm going to propose myself as the agent. Again, I have to going to do another transaction. Okay, so we can now see that this is timing down. So that this is this sort of two-stage process. So you're proposing agents. So there's a 24-hour period where other people could come in and buy influence as well if they're interested. So you have that period of time, and then you have to have the votes. So you have the proposal for the agents. You can have multiple agents, and then you have the voting process. So there's 24 hours on the proposal side, and the then you have 4 days on the vote. So effectively, you have 1 day for the proposals, and then 3 days for the voting of that agent. So you have to do both parts in order to become an agent. So yeah, we can see here how that system works. And then I say when you become the agent, then there's certain other things you can do, and I guess we'll do another video on that when I've got to that stage. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.